All right, I got quite a few plays on the board for tonight, so let's just start it off quickly. Russell Westbrook, over 0.5 threes made tonight. 9 of his last 10, 12 of 16. He's 1 of 1 versus Utah with 1 made, 3 in that game. Minus 194 on Caesars. I will include, I'll post this whole sheet at the end of this video as well for any of you who do want to look at it and pause it and not just go by my voice or having to pause and rewind, etc. Desmond Bane over 5.5 rebounds. He's covered this number 8 of his last 10, 4 of 5, averaging 8 per game over his last 5 games. They are playing Detroit tonight, minus 115 on ESPN Bet. Nikola Jokic over 12.5 rebounds. He's covered 7 of his last 10. He's averaging 13.38 per game over those 10. He had 16 on November 2nd versus Utah. They play the Jazz again tonight. Minus 105 on ESPN Bet. Kevin Durant over 7.5 rebounds and assists. He's covered this in 9 straight games. I'm either going to play that one or I'm going to play over 28.5 points and rebounds combined, where he's also covered 9 of his last 10. I haven't made up my mind. It won't be a full unit play. I might put a quarter unit on both of them. Props will be the most likely option that I roll with. A couple crossed out here that I was going to go with. Mikal Backlund over 2.5 shots on goal. He's covered 9 of his last 10. He is at Detroit tonight, minus 128 on North Stars, the best odds I could find. Travis Sanheim over 1.5 shots on goal. He's covered 8 of his last 10, averaging 2.8 shots on goal per game over those 10 games. They're in Nashville tonight, minus 164 on FanDuel. Frank Vetrano over 2.5 shots on goal. He's covered 7 of his last 10 games, 1 of 1 versus Seattle with 5 shots on goal, minus 160 on FanDuel. Kent Johnson playing versus Montreal tonight, over 0.5 points. He's covered 6 of 6 games, averaging 1.5 points per game, minus 115 on ESPN Bet. Jesper Bratt over 0.5 points versus St. Louis tonight. He's covered 7 of 10 and 18 of 23, minus 208 on BetMGM. I might parlay that one because I don't like them odds so much. I might find another parlay with a odds close to that minus 200, minus 180, minus 210. Maybe if I can get a couple I'm really big on, maybe a Martin Necas or something, pair him with to get a decent odds or at least close to that 2-1. Tage Thompson over 0.5 points. He's covered 9 of his last 10. They're playing Minnesota tonight. He's also covered 13 of 15 games on the year, averaging 1.2 points per game, minus 136 on FanDuel. Crossed off. Anytime goal scorers I like tonight, there's just 2 I'm playing. Kirill Kaprizov in the Minnesota-Buffalo game. William Nylander in the Florida-Toronto game. I'm debating Mitch Marner because, he's been on a fucking tear, especially since Austin Matthews was out. But I do believe he's back tonight, which is why I like Nylander for the goal. He'll be teamed up with Austin Matthews on the same line. Moneyline plays tonight. Toronto moneyline plus 134 on 3ET. Toronto's won 4 straight. Florida's lost 4 straight. Bobrovsky plays terrible against the Maple Leafs and hardly ever wins. That is the reason I am on them tonight. Not so much a Leafs play as the way Florida's looked over their last 4 or 5 games and Bobrovsky's history versus the Leafs. Buffalo on the money line. I know this goes against what some people might think in this game, but they have won 5 of the last 6 against Minnesota. I'll take them as a home dog, plus 126 on 3ET. I'm also on Winnipeg on the money line, going with 3+ money line plays in the NHL tonight, who I all think are, 2 of the 3 I think are probably the better team. Toronto, Florida, I'd kind of put them equal. Buffalo, Minnesota, actually, they're kind of equal too. So I guess Winnipeg is the only hands-down favorite out of the 3 games. But plus 102 on Botano. Again, I'll post this. It has all of my crossed-out plays on it as well. So you guys can check it out right after I say my piece.